morning.
Good morning.
This is the most exciting daily dose we have ever had. A, because it's worked so far. So far, so good.
Yeah.
And B, because we're on location.
Yes, we are.
And we're with our first return guest, actually seeing her in person. That means we all have legs. There's more to us than just rib cage up. This is Patti Senn. We are at Soul Solutions, a brand new recovery center in Fargo, Moorhead, West Fargo.
Yeah. Thank you so much for coming out and helping us celebrate our grand opening tomorrow.
This is so exciting. We're drinking coffee and tea from their new Hope and Coffee location. So one of the reasons that I wanted to come here was because when Patti first told us that they were opening up a coffee shop for the whole community, not just for people in recovery, I was really moved by that, because what we know is true is that isolation is such a huge piece of the journey into addiction and often out of it as well. And so this is just a coffee shop. It's not a recovery coffee shop. It's just a coffee shop. And I'm drinking tea from Steep Me a Cup of Tea, which is a great local company. I don't know where Maz's coffee is from, but it's really good. So it's a beautiful space.
Don't put me on the spot.
Okay. We don't know. It's coffee. It's from
coffee.
A bean. That's what we know. It was brewed by a super friendly barista who promised that if we go past him, he'll wave on camera. So this is just incredible, Patti. So you were with us in January of 2021. If you go to the notes section of any of these links, you'll see you can go back and watch our conversation. One thing you'll notice is we've gotten a little better at what we're doing, a little better. So, you know, we're trying. It's always a process. But anyway, Patti, you were on in January of 2021. We were in the midst of this raging pandemic. You didn't have anything in place yet.
Nothing. You know, and as I was thinking back, you know, I think when we talked, it was still mostly just a dream.
I think it was too.
And a vision. You know, we had, you know, certainly made some progress, but, you know, it was little more than just an idea and a dream. And it's pretty amazing to see how things have unfolded over the last year and a half.
Yeah. I mean, January 2021 on one hand feels like it was 35 years ago.
Yeah.
And on the other hand, it was only 14 months ago.
Yeah.
That's just extraordinary.
Yeah. Well, I really need to, you know, give credit to the community and, you know, some key people that were so instrumental in supporting us very early on and helping us get to where we are. This is obviously an undertaking that needed a lot of community support and buy-in to get to this stage. And so we're just really grateful for all of the people that have supported us early on, and certainly you guys as well, and giving us, you know, a platform and helping us get the word out. So thank you.
Well, it's amazing. So do you want to say something?
No,
sorry.
Keep going.
Okay. So I want to know, now you're open. You have your big ribbon cutting tomorrow. So we're here before the ribbon cutting. That makes me feel super important, Patti. But I want to know again, what is this space? And why is this a space that people who are either thinking about finding recovery for themselves or with someone who they would like to encourage to come to recovery, why is this a place to consider?
Well, the overall vision, you know, there's a lot that happens in this building, and part of it is the treatment program, and then part of it is the community space and the coffee shop, obviously. And so, you know, what we knew early on, you know, when we first started putting this vision together, is we wanted to do more than just treatment. Mm-hmm. You know, and you know, I'm an addiction counselor by trade, and you know, am in long-term recovery myself, and for, you know, for many reasons, I've personally felt like we're kind of losing the battle in some respects with the you know, how addiction is impacting our communities, and so we knew we wanted to do something a little bolder and a little innovative to bring the community into this discussion and support our mission. There's a quote that I often use to kind of explain why we're doing what we're doing, by a gentleman by the name of William White. He's a recovery advocate in the United States. And he has said that the power of a community to support and promote recovery is far greater than any treatment program can do. And so really, our whole mission is about getting the community to support and embrace recovery, because it's, you know, it's going to take a community
Absolutely.
to impact recovery for us.
So I want to pull up a comment from a longtime watcher, Ann Riley. What a great idea to have a location in the vicinity for those who might need it, and a new place for me to try out. Ann, the tea is really good. Ann's English. Love experiencing new local places. Good luck for the opening day and beyond. Absolutely, Ann. You and I'll come for tea. That's how we'll get here. So I don't want to discount that quote, because I think it's so true. I just think about our little test case of 2 and the difference between hiding where we were, feeling like we couldn't tell anybody even after Maz got sober, and now being a place where strangers come up to us and say, thank you for doing what you're doing because I'm in recovery too. And that community feeling, I think, is the most powerful piece of what we do.
Well, look on this blackboard. It's blackboard paint. It's fantastic. Just for the message for Hope and Coffee, people are coming here to sign it. And if you actually do need a little bit of hope, they're putting their sobriety dates on them. You know, there's one here from 2008. There's one here from, I just saw it a second ago, 1965, Larry Kay over there.
Wow.
So there's a lot of hope behind us here. So there's a powerful message just to walk, when you just walk in the door. It's one of the first things you see.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Another thing we like to say is that addiction is obviously a disease of isolation, and the antidote to that is connection. And we hope that this is a place of connection and community for people. And one of the taglines we use is "Come for coffee and leave with hope."
And that's fantastic.
Oh, I love that. Yeah. Who doesn't need that? Whether you're suffering from addiction or just having a crummy day, or it's just, you know, a delayed spring. Come for coffee, leave with hope that spring will come. I mean, I'm not trying to minimize it, but we all need hope at any point in our lives, regardless the path we've been on. You know, again, I think this is a coffee shop attached to a facility trying to help people get back on track. But we all need moments to get back on track from time to time. It's just incredible. All right, another comment from my mother. Maybe your mother will comment, Patti.
That's way beyond her skills.
I love this live show, and while I may appear shallow, Ann, you have great hair. You do. Ann, Patti has great hair. You're thinking about Ann from before, unless you saw a picture of her mother. This is fantastic hair and message and connection and hope and coffee and everything. All right, we'll see if she fixes that. You do have great hair. I totally agree. And I don't think that's shallow at all. It's not on topic, but it's not shallow.
No, it's not shallow. I wouldn't say it's shallow.
Okay, so tell us when you actually opened.
Sure. So it's kind of been a couple of step process. So our clinical services in Soul Solutions Recovery Center, that opened December 8th was when we first started providing recovery and addiction services. The coffee shop and the community center, the middle of March. So the coffee shop has been open since, I believe, March 11th.
My mother's birthday, just in case anyone wants to make a Bonnie Bowman continued connection.
Awesome. Yeah. And our community space is just starting to be utilized as well. So the community space is another space that we hope to invite the community into and utilize. So for instance, we've got, a couple of different community classes that are going on in there right now. We've got a few different 12-step support groups that are having their meetings in that space right now. And we hope to add to what we're able to share and provide for the community here.
What's your address, Patti?
It is 1801 38th Street South in Fargo.
So just north of the interstate, kind of.
Yep.
Sort of in the West Acres neighborhood. It's a building that I think looks kind of like an armory. It's Concordia colored bricks, if that means anything to people who live in Fargo, Moorhead, West Fargo. It's actually a really attractive building.
Yeah,
it is. It's a very nice building.
It's welcoming. It's, sometimes I think facilities have sort of a aura of like,
this one
about
doesn't.
them. This one really does not. It feels welcoming and joyful, and it feels part of the community that it's situated in, which I think is really important.
Yeah, we really are fortunate with this location and the space, and it's really been exciting to put it together and to hear comments that people feel it's warm and welcoming and things like that.
And in case we do get one, there are places to drink coffee outside.
Oh, in case spring and summer comes,
in
yes.
case we do get spring and summer, there's an outdoor area to it as well.
Bob Swanson says, good morning. Good morning, Bob. Yes, so there's all kinds of opportunities. Okay, so we are about to tax our technological understanding of how to do this in a way that might be utterly disastrous. So I'm just going to prep you, listening audience. There's going to be a little bit of reverb for a while, so maybe turn your volume down, and I'll give you one of these when you can turn it up. I'm going to send Dr. Mary and Patti on a tour of the coffee shop space. Obviously, we can't go into the treatment facility, but we can go to the coffee shop space, and I want you to get to see that. Okay. So you go like that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, can I just show you something? When it's time to turn the camera, actually, you might not be able to. You might just have to do it that way and record the coffee shop either behind you or turn the camera, literally just turn the phone around. Do you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, don't trip on the cords. All right, I'm going to send them off. For some reason, can I see that for 1 second? Because you have to, let's see.
We will. You have.
Sorry. Oh, enter studio. That's what. Here we go. Okay, you go that way. You can talk. And I will tell you. Okay, I'm going to add them to the space.
There we
Dr.
go.
Mary, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, so there's Patti and Dr. Mary. Oh my gosh, I cannot believe this is working. I feel like I've just landed people on the moon.
Yeah, we should get a job for CNN, I think.
Okay, so I don't know how to have you turn the camera around, but you can just turn the phone around you can try something if you want.
Like this.
There's the coffee shop. All right, so you can see there's really, angle the camera down just a tiny bit, Dr. Mary. There we go. Beautiful chairs. There's already a guest for the morning drinking coffee, comfortable gathering spaces. There's the coffee bar. There's our barista. That's all he's doing, waving, very friendly. Patti, talk about what this space means for you.
Well, we really refer to it as a a community space, and we're just inviting people to come and check it out and just spend some time here, and like you said early on, it's not just for people in recovery, it's for the entire community, and we really just want people to come out and see what we're all about.
It occurs to me that every coffee shop you go into everywhere in the world is likely to have people in recovery in it. You just don't know it. So just a coffee shop.
That is very true. Part of what we hope to do is elevate the discussion on recovery in our community, because you're right. For as much as addiction is impacting our community, there is a very strong recovery community here as well. And we want to highlight that people do get well. And they're our neighbors, our coworkers, our colleagues, our family members. And we really want to highlight that, there is hope and people do get well.
Well, I'm talking to two people who've gotten well. So if you need any more examples than that, Patti's in long-term recovery and Maz is in long-term recovery. So that's incredible. Anne says, ooh, comfy chairs to sip our tea and coffee. Absolutely. Maz, will you go over to Adam's artwork, please? Because people will recognize his mugs if they're long-term Daily Dose watchers, because I have one of them. I'm a lucky owner of Adam's work.
Okay, let me see if I can get this. Is this in focus at all?
It is. So Adam is a local ceramicist. He's also a recovery. Patti, what is Adam's title?
He's one of our licensed addiction counselors here.
Thank you. Go down just a little bit, Maz. Perfect. But look at those beautiful cases displaying Adam's mugs.
I'm coming over to the other side here.
you might recognize my mug is all white. I got it in December. It looks kind of
One of these.
down a little bit, Maz.
There you
Well,
go.
yes, it looks kind of like that. And these are for sale. And all of the proceeds of the sales goes to support what, Patty? Go back to Patty, Maz, please.
Oh,
We-
here we go.
We are planning to have a small pottery studio in our facility. Part of what we plan to do is offer some introductory pottery classes to people that come through our treatment program, and really emphasizing the power of, some art therapy and, giving people an opportunity to experience a little bit of art as part of their recovery process.
Patty, you are speaking to every passion I have: recovery, good tea, art. Maz, just for the purpose of this recording, go further away from me, will you? Please, maybe back towards the table where our stuff is. That way it won't be quite so
Okay.
echoey. But as you're walking past this wall, see this long wall that Maz is going past? It's a beautiful color, actually, but it's pretty blank. So I asked Patty today if she would be interested in a mural, and she said yes. And Dr. Mary and I are going to fund it. So I'm just going to say to anybody watching, if you want to contribute to that, we would be really happy to add you to the pool of supporters who make sure that that space doesn't just welcome people with coffee and comfortable chairs, but also welcomes them with a piece of art. Because what we know art does is it calms you down, it inspires you, it gives you hope, it evokes all kinds of positive emotions, and sometimes it also brings out challenging emotions. Sometimes it moves you in ways that are hard, and that's okay. I feel like this is going to be a coffee shop where if you're having a hard day, it's the right place to be.
Exactly.
Okay, well, Patty, what else do you want to talk about? I want to make sure that people know how they can find you, how they can get to you. Maybe we should turn you guys off and you make your way back this way so that we can have a better conversation. I'm going to cut you out of this.
Cool.
And we will see you in about 5 seconds. Okay, so I will do a little song and dance while I'm waiting for them to get back. But really and truly, this space is extremely beautiful. Thank you. Leave. There we go. There we go.
That
Okay.
actually sounds like the 50s sci-fi movie I was watching the other
It
night.
does kind of sound like a science fiction movie. Okay, so Patty, let's talk about the process of how somebody checks in. Because I as someone who'd never done that, that was scary to me to take Maz to rehab.
For sure. And, we like to have the no wrong door approach. So, really what we encourage people to do, if you have any concerns about your use or a loved one's use, just give us a call. And what we will do is we will, invite you to come in and visit with us, and we'll help you figure out the next steps. One thing that we know, unfortunately, is that navigating this process is very complicated and difficult for a lot of different reasons, and people just get overwhelmed. And so really it's making a phone call, and we'll help you from there. So just give us a call, and we're willing to have you come in and visit with us, and help you figure out the next steps.
Let me just thank you, Anne. I appreciate that. It's shocking that it's working. soulsolutions.org, right?
Soulsolutions.org.
Okay, so you can start there and find all the information that you need. Okay, so is this a inpatient, outpatient? What kind of treatment facility is this?
So we are an outpatient facility. So we provide all levels of outpatient care here.
One of the things that you said that really shocked me, because I feel like you might have been the first clinician we had on as well. You were a lot of firsts for us, Patty. But you said that you believe that outpatient care can be as effective as move into inpatient treatment. Is that correct? Am I remembering that correctly?
Well, what we really mean is that getting people in the right level of care is most
Okay.
important.
Okay.
And so for some people, they do need that high level of inpatient or
Mhm.
residential care. A lot of people are able to manage and get treatment on an outpatient level of care.
Okay.
So I think there's some misperception that if someone needs treatment, the thought is we need to get them, inpatient somewhere. And that's certainly needed for a certain group of people, but a lot of people are able to receive care on an outpatient basis. And that gets important when you talk to people about, people need to keep working or, stay connected to their families.
Uh-huh.
And so for a lot of people, doing an inpatient is maybe not even a realistic option. So,
Sure.
And so, yeah. So.
I don't know if you can answer this question, but can you talk about what inpatient treatment entails?
Yeah. So inpatient.
Sorry, your treatment,
Yeah.
outpatient.
Yeah.
Sorry, who
Yeah.
cares what inpatient? You don't do that. Yeah. Sorry, Patty. I'm sorry.
So outpatient is, coming to, groups, several days a week, depending on what type of program is most appropriate for you. So a lot of it is group focused. What we do know is that group therapy is the most effective form of therapy for substance use disorders.
Okay.
So individual work is part of that process, but certainly the group is a big part of the programming that we do here. And really an important piece that our facility likes to emphasize is the importance of ongoing care. So this is, we believe, a chronic disease, and we are committed to working with people over longer periods of time. So unfortunately, we tend to do very short periods of treatment for people and then, send them out the door. I would say we send them out the door with a list of AA meetings and say good luck.
Mhm.
And then we wonder why they're back in 6 months or a year later. And so we really emphasize the importance of ongoing care and not just doing the short-term treatments.
And does insurance cover you?
Not always.
Okay. But that's true of every treatment facility, correct?
Correct.
Yeah.
So the reality is managing the insurance piece of things and advocating for people to receive the necessary care. And so that's certainly a challenge wherever you go, unfortunately. So.
Yeah, it's amazing. The healthcare situation as it pertains to addiction is really an extraordinary thing.
Yeah. And so there's some options for people that either don't have insurance or they have some other insurance barriers. And so there are options for people. And again, navigating that and figuring that out for people is something we're more than willing to help with.
So that is an interesting point. What kinds of staff do you have for people who are either brand new to this or who are multi-cyclic, and trying to figure out what's next?
Yeah. So we've got 5 licensed addiction counselors on staff as well as a registered nurse. So we all wear many hats here. We've got an office person as well. So we all wear many different hats and kind of do whatever needs to be done.
Yeah. My mom has another question, I think. Could the quote between Dana and Patti be made into a piece of art or part of the mural? Is it that you are loved, you are worth it?
No, probably hope and coffee.
Oh, it is. You are loved, you are worth it. Rainbow by Erica Sober since 2017. I'm just struck by that. It was so wonderful. Show's incredible. Maz and Patti could not be more radiant, recovered folks. They just shine with health and vitality. Boy, do I agree with that. Absolutely. And think about.
I was told it was the lighting.
Lighting is always very important. We often fail at it, but we did okay today, considering how limited our knowledge is, putting my theater degree a little bit to use. But that is true. You are loved, you are worth it. Again, who isn't? Who isn't? There are no throwaway people. You said that once a long time ago, that a lot of addicts are sort of perceived as throwaway people. And Patti, we'll just talk about you. I'm sorry, I know this is going to mortify you. Patti's from Western North Dakota and is a true North Dakotan in the sense of like, please don't shine any lights on me. So you're doing very well, Patti. But look what you did from being a broken person to this.
Yeah, it's amazing.
It's just incredible in one lifetime. So I agree. You are loved, you are worth it. That is true for every single person who walks through these doors or really anywhere in the world.
I will use this opportunity to, and I still get emotional, just
Well, I'm a sympathetic crier, so I'll just cry right along with you.
thank my mom and my family at the time for getting me on the right path. Obviously none of this happens without recovery, and my family was instrumental. My mom was instrumental in getting me on the right track. So thank you, Mom. I hope you're watching and have figured out the Facebook thing, and thank you. The importance of family as part of this process as well, because I never would have made the decision to seek help.
Yeah, because you were young.
I was young.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I did not have the awareness. My disease was so progressed that I just didn't see it. I didn't see what was going on. I didn't recognize that I had a problem. And were it not for family kind of forcing my hand a little bit, I would not be here today. And so the role of the family members is so important oftentimes in this recovery process. And we have a family program here as well, because we truly believe that embracing the whole family as part of recovery is so important.
Well, I certainly can say, and your mom would agree, that she might not have been drinking or using or whatever it was that your struggle was, but she was living with it too. So I agree with you. Everybody doesn't have to be in the addiction to suffer
It does
because of the
It
addiction.
affects families. This disease.
Absolutely. It's a terrible, terrible thing. But it's a joyful recovery. I mean, cancer is a terrible thing too, and we celebrate when someone gets past cancer treatment, and we celebrate when someone, does what they need to do to dial down how many grams or milligrams or whatever you serve diabetes medicine in. What's that stuff called?
Insulin.
Insulin. Thank you. We celebrate those wins, and this is a huge place to celebrate. Absolutely. To do the hard work and then to celebrate and to keep coming back to celebrate. So you might have noticed that there is a .org at the end of that website. That means that this is a nonprofit. So what do nonprofits need, Patti?
We need support. We are obviously a new nonprofit, and we are in need of just, people to help us spread the message again, most importantly. And certainly we rely on donations as well, and talents that people have. We've, a big part of getting us to this point is volunteers. We've had some tremendous volunteers that have stepped up and done various things to help us get to where we are today. So if you are interested in volunteering or have anything that you want to offer to help us, we are more than happy to talk to you.
Yeah, so soulsolutions.org. Go on and support them financially, support them, share this conversation. Almost nobody's been through this space yet. So you can be on the front line of helping the community learn about a brand new treatment space. We know there's not enough treatment for the need that is out there. So to have a new space is just the opportunity for more hope for more people sooner.
Absolutely.
Which is huge.
Absolutely.
And more hope in a really lovely, specific kind of treatment, which I know was important to you. You had a vision, and you lived up to it, Patti.
Yes,
you didn't waver. Just amazing. Amazing.
When I got sober as an academic, I looked into all these papers I heard about, and actually found the original papers about the fact that you need activities to help someone get over addiction. The worst thing is to be isolated. That's why there was art therapy. In fact, when they let me go home 5 weeks into my treatment, and you picked me up, which was a joyous night, I used to look forward to coming in each morning, because first thing we had was art class. Now, I am not an artist. I'm not saying it's because I'm an academic. It's because I have no artistic talent.
That's not entirely true.
I can paint a room like a champion. But Dana picks the palette, actually. But art is incredibly important. Patti was talking about hopefully trying to get a pottery wheel in here. That, to talk about what's bothering you while you're making something is absolutely amazing. And hope and coffee. It's a reason the word hope is first. This is what this place feels like it's going to give you.
Yeah. So I'm curious if you've been in touch with Lisa Scheller, because you might remember Lisa was a guest through Patti. Lisa's from Pennsylvania, and she's the original Hope and Coffee. So this is Hope and Coffee Junior or 2.0 or however you want to think about it. What's Lisa saying about anything?
Oh, she's been a tremendous supporter from, years ago. I think, I was out there in 2018 and she's been so supportive throughout. She came here last summer to kind of kick off some of what we're doing. And, she's cheering us on from out in Tamaqua, Pennsylvania. And we're hoping to get her back out here now that we're open for a cup
Excellent.
of coffee on us. So.
Absolutely.
Fantastic.
Well, Patti, congratulations.
Yes, absolutely.
My gosh,
Congratulations. This is fantastic.
just incredible. I'm so thrilled to be here, to see it actually be a realized dream. And from one nonprofit leader to another, congratulations on pulling this off. This is not an easy feat. And here we are in the space. So really, if you're in Fargo, Moorhead, West Fargo, you're going for coffee anyway, come to Hope and Coffee. It's a beautiful space. I cannot praise the tea enough. You won't believe this, but I'm having a non-caffeinated tea this morning. You can't tell, but it's true, and it's really, really good. The coffee's great.
Yes, it is.
Buy a mug from Adam and drink it in that. Support this space, not just once, not twice, but support it over the long haul, because you might need it someday and you want it to be here. Thanks, Patti.
Thank you,
Thank
Patti.
you both very, very much.
Absolutely. It's been a delight. Everybody, thanks for commenting, watching. Please, please, please share this conversation. This one more than any other. Share this so that people get into the space. And I just have to put in one last plug. We're on Instagram now, Daily Dose of Dr. Mary and Didi, because I needed one more thing to do in my life. So go there too, like us, follow us, and continue to support this work, because somebody in your life needs to know that they are not alone and that they are loved and they are worth it.
Yeah.
We'll talk to you soon. Bye.
Bye.